And we continue to follow the breaking news from the Supreme Court, a ruling that appears to open the floodgates for corporations and labor unions to use money from their general treasuries to pay for advertising campaigns. NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams has had a chance to look at the ruling. Pete, what jumps out at you?
Well, David, I've just come from the courtroom where Justice John Paul Stevens spent 20 minutes lecturing the court on why it was wrong today. But what the Supreme Court did today is overturn a century of laws and practice in America, taking the restrictions away, saying that corporations can use their vast treasuries to spend money to support or oppose candidates in political campaigns. This is a complete change in the law. It eviscerates the McCain-Feingold law that was passed just a few years ago by Congress. Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky was sitting here in the court as it announced its decision. In the majority opinion in this 5-4 ruling, Justice Anthony Kennedy said the problem with the law was that it interferes with the speech of millions of corporations, which he said also can be associations of people, and uses censorship to control thought. That is illegal. But on the other hand, Justice Stevens in his dissent said the problem is that corporations can drown out the voices of ordinary people, David.
In other words, so a corporation that has billions of dollars can essentially now take as much money as it wants, and as long as it doesn't give directly to the campaign, but sets up some sort of advertising campaign essentially representing the corporation, they can spend as much money as they want now.
That's right. Corporations can spend as much as they want to support or oppose candidates. Now, you raise a good point. This says nothing about contributions directly to candidates. There are still limitations on that. But many legal experts say, well, the same thought and the same legal theory that applies to today's ruling might well apply to corporate limits on contributions as well. So we may see that as the next case.
And it also opens the door, Pete, for unions, labor unions, to do the same thing, right?
I can't imagine that today's ruling would not apply equally to limitations on labor unions. As a historical matter, Congress first limited corporate contributions, then in 1947 limited labor contributions. But that case will come up here, I'm sure, very soon, and I would think the same logic would free up labor unions equally as corporations, David.
A dramatic ruling this morning from the Supreme Court. NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams with the latest. Pete, thank you very much. And again, reaction already starting to ricochet in Congress. Senator Chuck Schumer, Congressman Chris Van Hollen plan to have a news conference a half hour from now to try to talk about their efforts to roll back what the Supreme Court has done today. But either way, this is a huge, huge story in the world of campaign finance and how political campaigns get their money.